Good evening. Welcome to the 8 o'clock news. I'm your anchor. Tad's the way, I like it. Today's top story, due to new tariffs, Vietnamese escorts will only love you medium time.
A little much.
Good evening, Talkin Trashers. Welcome to episode 103. Even though the graphics will say 104.
104.
We have minus one. So it's 103. Tim has to get drug tested after the podcast. Tonight we have a returning guest. We have Ben and Jay coming back in the house.
Yay.
And we're going to be talking about good old step 8,
mess.
making that listen. We're going to be checking it twice. So back to Timmy.
Jesus Christmas. Sorry about that. I guess I forgot. I broke my nose camping. Shocker. And I guess I've lost my faculties. I was supposed to do a lot of stuff today, and everything got screwed up. And I started the show, I don't know, 3:45, and I put a good one together, minus the episode number. So a little bit of that. Actually, tonight we're gonna have why I don't know, but we're gonna have a Super Mario theme. Step 8. That is a Super Mario logo. I don't know. It's organic. It just comes to me. So I got problems.
Just like the mushrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Nom, 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 nom.
And there's something to be said about that with Mario getting all big and shit from eating mushrooms. Anyway, step 8. Yeah. Just I don't know who's laughing back there. So
Jim.
Yes.
Obviously. So I want everybody to know a little something about Timmy Snyder. Timmy is no expert. I am not the expert on this show. I am living a early recovery journey, and I'm figuring it out as I go. And I'm learning from my experts on this show. I bring experts on. What can I do? I can produce a show, and that's what I do. And I'm told I'm gonna have to mute everybody, I think. Where was I? Oh, I can produce a show. That's what I can do. And I'm told by everybody, you have to give back. You can only keep what you have by giving it away. So that's what I'm doing. I give away my time, my energy, my money, my sanity. And I bring on people that can answer your questions, that do know what they're talking about. I can speak to a few things, like, I don't know, like maintenance, what it's like to be in early recovery and have your life be an absolute shit show. I can speak to those things. If those people are out there and they want to hear my journey, whatever, it's cool. There's also people out there that are 3 years sober, 5 years sober, that are like Will, just trying to do the best he can, we all meet everybody where they're at. And I'm nothing special. I'm a good guy. I care about people. I do the best I can. I screwed up a lot. There's a path of destruction in my wake, but I'm here. And I'm grateful to be here for the first time in my life, because there was a long time I didn't want to live. I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to live either. And I had kids, and it was all muddy and whatever. But I've been spared, and I'm doing the best I can to give back. So, experts, Jim Kaisa, really. Jim's like, just kidding. Jim's cool. They're the experts here. And we're not NAAA, but I personally like their program, their standards, what they do for people. I don't have these hanging up behind me because I think they're neat. I have them up because they send a message. That one fell down before. I guess that's going to be broken all show until I can get off camera. But I'm OCD, that'll drive me nuts. I hang them up because I think they're important to recovery as a whole. And if there was something else to hang up, I'd do that too. But a lot of people that watch the show are in AA and they live by that program. And we have a lot of different. We're not AA, we're not NA, we're not spiritual, we're not Christian, we're not religious, we're not celebrate recovery, we're not smart recovery. We are just people, and that's the point of this podcast, and that's what we're trying to show, that people like us, normal people, have problems, and we're all trying to figure it out as a team, the four of us together. And hey, Will came on. Hi, Will, welcome. I have everybody muted, so if that screws something up, I'm sorry. We'll get into our preamble. I have no idea what's going on. I thought it was episode 104, but clearly I'm wrong. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. Real professional, right? Just so everybody knows, this whole thing looked way worse yesterday. I was camping. Right, Will? Riveting. Thank you for sharing. Get your mic together. I was camping with Will, and it's right at the end of the camp trip. I can't even talk. And I'm cutting wood the wrong way. I'm not an outdoorsy guy, and I've been struggling with this for 20 years. It's 6 minutes in. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm cutting wood the wrong way with a hammer up against the wood circle thing, and I'm breaking it, and I break a couple of them, and then one smashes me in the face and breaks my nose. So there's blood everywhere, and I run up to the bathrooms, and I've seen doctors do this 4 times on me, so I did it myself. A little one of these, and I just pushed it back the way it was hanging. So anyway, my life sucks. I love everybody, and
this is our humble broadcast where ethics and personal anonymity are of the utmost importance. We run this podcast as an act of service to those whose lives have been affected by addiction. We do not do it for profit or notoriety. We place principles before personalities. We benefit from this podcast just as much as anyone else. We all work programs and choose to sacrifice our own anonymity to spread the message that recovery is possible. We do this thing in an attempt to show as living examples that no matter how far down the scale we have gone, our experience can benefit others. Not only is that the 9th step promise, it's our creed we abide by here on Talking Trash. We feel called to uphold AA and NA's principles. We firmly believe that you can only keep what you have by giving it away.
Please join us for a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Here is your Talkin' Trash starting lineup. Let's meet the team, shall we? Number 9 at forward, Tim Snyder. He's cool. Kind of. Hailing from the Great White North is our host, Jimmy Leibel. Great team member. We love him to death, even though he's Canadian. It's a fact. Everything's bigger in Texas, and our girl Kaista's recovery is gigantic. And then there's Willie Duggs. Will lives in a trailer. And we love him. All right. Let's get into it.
Yeah! Here we go now. 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 Here we go now.
It's a miracle. Oh, this is welcome to the miracle. It's a
all right, everybody. Oh, it's on repeat. All right, so here we are, episode 103.5. Let's get around to the team. I love my team, and we're gonna start with Jim Leibel.
Hello, Timothy.
Hello, Jim Leibel.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, we actually just had an election on Monday, so we're still not the 51st state, but we're getting damn close. So
yay! How's recovery? How is your friend? I know your sponsor's celebrating some.
47 years tonight. So after this, I'm gonna race over. Have some cake. Nom 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 nom.
No, 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 no. He's always racing. But that's because he loves the show. He loves recovery. Don
do.
V, 47 years. Holy
He is a
smoky.
Is he a short little shit? Isn't
Oh,
he?
this is welcome to the miracle.
That is a miracle.
He comes up to my armpit.
He is a little guy. I cut off your head for laughters.
For shits and giggles.
And I
Laughters.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I like the laughters. Jimmy is out of 52.
Yeah, sure.
61? All right, 52.
Well, 52.
Oh, I have it right here. 60 years of age, 3 years of sobriety. He hails from the Great White North, and that's their flag. And
Yep, that's us.
he's a good time. He is dedicated to the program, and he is our #1 purchaser of merchandise.
Yes,
so
I
way
am.
to go, Jimmy. We're all very proud of you. And then,
Thank you.
and then there's our girl.
The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie sky is wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas.
It gets me going. I love it. I love it.
Evil doll. Evil
yeah,
doll.
there's Evil Doll, Kaisa. She's 62. I didn't realize you guys are so close in age. You're both so handsome.
Hands.
5 years of sobriety. Wherever that background noise is, I'm going to come get you.
It.
Yep.
Don't look at me.
Kaisa,
not
62.
mine.
5 years of sobriety is not me. And Will lives in a trailer. Everything's bigger in Texas. She's just nonstop recovery, and we're all worried about her that she's going to burn out. But she's cool, and she's always there, and we need her. And we're idiots. We need her. Believe me. So I think I'm next, and I am. There I am playing a little Paul Simon. Yeah. Oh, we got a nice crowd watching. I'm 42. I'm ripped. I'm almost 2 years sober. I kind of forgot where I'm at, but I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm rough around the edges, but I'll stop anything for anyone. So yeah, we're just we're there. That's
Me and
us.
Casey down by the schoolyard.
It's the only song I could really rock on the guitar, and I play it at campfires. And I played it pretty good at 2 beers. At 4 beers, I couldn't even find the chords. So that's me. William is he's like our mascot slash
Our
wisdom.
mascot.
He's wisdom. He's got wisdom. Believe me. I heard him talk this weekend, and he didn't stop talking, and I learned a lot. So Will's 42, as am I, sober since 10/18/23. And what I realized is he's very close to Isabella's sober date.
3 days difference.
3 days ago. Yep.
Oh, wow.
I noticed things. He is a meth head, and I couldn't picture him on meth. I don't know. I don't get it. I can't imagine this guy doing any kind of amphetamine because he's out of his friggin' mind as it is. But let's bring him on the stage because he's cool. Willie Doug's in the place to be. Will, how was our camping trip? How awesome was that?
It was wonderful. It was a little
Mhm.
wet, but it was wonderful. It was great. I had a good time. Met people. Yeah, I mean, all around it was a good time. It was a little hard sleeping, but yeah.
Well, I had an air mattress for you, but he preferred to sleep on the rocks. Like I was telling the guys or the ladies and gentlemen before the show, I set up the whole campsite with the broken neck with injections 2 days earlier, which was ill-advised. My doctor said you shouldn't be doing that. And I set up the whole campsite about 7 hours straight. And it storms, and it is pounding rain. And Will just shows up at midnight, rain's over, pops up his tent, to sleep he goes. So good for Will for being smart. I had no idea it was going to rain. We're at our here. Let me just ramble on Will's intro. We're at our real quick. Well, just for context. We're at our thing at our meeting at 9:00, and it's 9:40, and I see like flashes, and I'm like, maybe that's just heat lightning or whatever. And Will sends me a picture of the radar, and it doesn't look pretty. So the meeting was over at 10. We had all of 8 minutes to go prepare for a monsoon. So yeah, that's camping. That's my camping life. I've burnt myself. I've broken noses. I'm not good outside, which is why I try to stay inside. So Will, like I just kept saying, all right, it's going to be okay. Will's coming. Will's coming. It's going to be all right. Will's going to know what to do. Will's coming. Will had never came. He just never
Hey, I
came.
got there. It was just a
Yeah,
little late.
a little late. So
I
since we're
had to
on the,
work all day.
I know it. I mean, I
Hey,
would
I
have
got
appreciated.
there before the day ended. It was maybe like 11:48, but I got there.
Well, I appreciate you being there because, I would have lost my mind for sure. Why don't we, why don't we, well, of course, the music isn't there because it's in episode 104 and nothing
Yes.
makes sense. All right, so why don't we take a look at our camping trip since we're on the subject? Um, so here we go. Me and Will camping in South Georgia. Good Lord in heaven, we both look like we have cerebral palsy in this picture. I didn't realize that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, right.
Will's got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, very purdy.
No,
Very
really,
purdy. Very purdy one. That's our camping site in the middle of the hurricane, which I like to call Hurricane Will. That's where we live. It was a cool site. I grabbed a great site because people were on top of each other. We had a sweet site. It's a shame. Anyway, yeah, I tried to prepare for it, but I just by the time the storm was over, I had about $92 worth of this stuff. So there's that. So we came across two of my friends from somewhere. I'm not going to say where. We had Krista, she's cool as shit, and Jenna, she's 9 months, and we're celebrating that with her. She's coming on soon. That's exciting because she's got a hell of a story, jail, and it's just unbelievable. And I was blessed to be able to hear it. So yeah, they jumped on the pod that morning, so no anonymity issues here. There's Will by the fire. Will, there is a much more unflattering picture. Yes.
I know he got the worst ones.
No, the worst one was the other one. I'm not bringing that up. You're welcome. I put this one up there. Not great either way.
Yeah,
but
right.
You know what? There's a fire going, and you're just checking it out. I'm
the
about
one
10
that got
minutes.
The fire going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you did. I'm about 10 minutes from breaking my nose at this point. There's a dog.
A dog.
I realized what the dog's name after I made this. The dog's name is Autumn. Very cute little dog. And they said he or she does not like men, and she whatever it is was all up in my business, But I have this way I talk to animals, and it's like this. Hello, little dodie. Oh, who's a good dog? You're the good dog and a very good dog. Oh, I like a dog. I talk like that to my cat, every dog, and they're like, I trust this guy. So anyway, moving on. There's our little group. There's a whole bunch more people to the right. There's Jana and Krista and the dog. Great. It was a great get together. I mean, it was just a lot of good people. Everyone caring about each other. Everybody struggling in their own way, but you know what? We all came together. Oh, there's a video I forgot to do because I'm doing episode 104. There's a video of us auctioning off T-shirts. And I move up to the front, and the guy's like talking trash, podcast T-shirts, and then at the end of it, he's like, "I don't know what these are." He pulls like business cards out of the bag, and I'm like, "Whoops!" I thought they were gonna get the whole bag. I didn't realize, I'd be advertising, and that's not why I did it, but it is why I did it. There's two good-looking chaps. My teeth are pretty white for smoking for 20 years.
Hey.
Who is in my sunglasses?
Uncle Jim.
Uncle Jim was there the whole time. What the hell?
I was in the Winnebago at the top of the hill.
Didn't know that.
Tub.
With your Wrigloo.
With my my Wriglette.
I watched that the other day. Made me laugh. Very funny.
Yep.
Yeah, you messed up. I didn't want to make it feel. I didn't want to make it feel bad. I caught myself at the end, but And there's Will. Just had enough. 2:00 in the afternoon on Saturday.
Get me out of here.
Never took off this sweatshirt. It was like 130 degrees, and he's just not sweating in a sweatshirt because he probably sweat everything out doing speed. There's a couple of good-looking chaps. We were frustrated at this point, and my nose was in the right position. And that is our camping adventure. What a miracle that
It's
was,
a
right?
miracle. Oh, this
was
is
a miracle.
welcome to the miracle.
Oh,
All right, that's the last miracle of the
Thank
show.
you.
So
Thank you for that.
anyway, we have a theme, believe it or not, in this disaster. We're looking at step 8 tonight. And step 8 is made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. It sounds important. I have done it, but I did it to make somebody else happy. So, and when I did it, it was all about resentments other people did. So I think about it and I talk to people about it, and Jim and Kaiser are going to really take the reins here. It's I'm trusting you two.
We're fucked.
Drive this,
Oops.
drive this thing.
We're hoped.
Yeah,
Guys,
drive this
all
thing
yours.
into a ditch, and now I got to do the TVMA. Thanks a lot, Jim. Made a list of all persons. So, making a list is hard, and I think in my mind, it ties in with the fourth step. If you don't do a good fourth step, I think this is not going to be right. So I'm going to defer to the experts. Kaisa, take it away. I mean, you've done this. You've had shut up. You've had experience with this. Kaisa didn't find any of that funny. She just forced out a laugh, and we appreciate that effort. There it is. I knew I could get it out of her. All right, so
Clarity. That's better.
step 8, Kaisa, go.
Okay, hi, how you doing? I'm Kaisa.
Hi, Kaisa.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, ma'am.
So hi Mario and all those guys. Okay, so step 8, became willing to make amends to those people we'd harmed during our active addiction. Now, keep in mind, the steps are made to go in order. You have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Which when you're doing 4, that's when those people usually that are on your step 4 end up on your step 8, and then you proceed up, in order. Then you come up to 8, and you make amends to them for what you've done or what you perceive you have done, as long as it won't.
I'm sorry. You just make the list for the amends, right? It's step 9 is the amends where you make it,
right?
Okay,
But
gotcha. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
All you.
What you're doing is, but as long as it doesn't hurt others, and other can be you as well.
Wow.
So you don't want to make an amends that is going to hurt you.
Right.
And so, on your step 4, you come up with all, what was your fault and blah, blah, what's your part in it. And one thing that I realized that once I actually did make an amends to some people, I had no idea the hurt and the harms I had caused them. I had no idea.
Right.
But, it is making the amends, going through with it, and it's very relieving. You unpack a lot being able to do that.
So I hear a lot about it, and I shy away from it because I'm not there. I am going to do the steps. I am. I'm just not. I'm working on other things, getting myself right, getting my head right. But when I look ahead at this, I mean, how do we go about? Nah, you already talked about that. How does the fourth step tie into the 8th step, Jim?
How does the 4th tie into it? Well, okay, 4th is taking that moral inventory of yourself. But that 8th is it's a clear actionable component of all the steps. And you make a list of all persons you would harm the most. However, certain emotions may stop us from adding the right people. And as it's actually not said in the 8th step, it's actually the 9th to people whom we may harm as well. And I asked my counselor about that. She said, well, do you have any children that you don't know? Could there be children or offspring that you don't know about? And I'm like, okay. So
I love this.
Yeah, it's like, okay, don't contact that person and that person and that person. Because you don't want to rock the boat. But those questions will help guide you to make making the right list. And the key word is willing. You have to be willing to do this.
Right.
You just can't go, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And you have to all these questions like, what are the most important relationship that you destroyed or damaged because of your addictive behaviors? And
Makes sense.
like, do you owe anybody an apology for your non-addictive related behavior? And should they be on your list? Like, there's a pile of things you have to be like, will I be harming the person or others further by making amends, going back to, oh yeah, by the way, and then somebody comes to the door, oh yeah, here's your son Bob. Oh great. Well, guess what, your dad's an alcoholic and I just
Sorry,
made
I was
amends to
drunk.
your
Yeah.
mother. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, 35 years ago. And how making amends is different from saying sorry. And
Yeah.
it was worded to me and it made total sense. You're acknowledging. You're not saying sorry like, oh, I'm sorry, I hate your car, I spilled the milk, I'm really sorry. And
Right.
that, like, owning the what you did, like owning your shit. And
Sure.
that's key, because you have, and it's then okay, that's on your side of the street, clean it up. And that's part of cleaning your street.
Yeah.
And have you pictured making amends to anyone else over the year? And all it's one of you're prepping for 9, which is so much fun. I loved step 9, and
Right.
I do like all the. I continually use the steps, like not even realizing I'm doing it, whether it be in a
Yeah.
program, in work, whatever. Just dealing with people and having
Yeah.
that workable list of people to make amends to it. And making amends is not just saying, yeah, I'm sorry, I took all
Yeah.
that money from you. Okay, if you borrowed money or stole money, you pay him back. Or
Yeah.
and like I pay back with interest. And you just have to be a person of honor and integrity, because while we were in active addiction, we were assholes. And because it
Yep.
was, yeah, and it's, yeah, like, do you have any fears about making the amends? And how do you look forward to making the amends? Well, you don't look forward to it. But once you do it, as Kaisa said, it's that release of, you're taking that burden, you're taking those rocks out of your backpack.
Sure.
And really, you're doing it not just for them, you're doing it for yourself. Like
Absolutely.
it's as part of that spiritual journey. Like I said, I don't want to deny you that. And yeah, and people bitch and complain all the way through the steps. But
Yeah.
when it's all done, and when you start living a life of recovery, not just sobriety, it's like ding, the light actually comes on. But yeah, step 8 is a fun one. I love that list because
How?
it has to be thorough. It's like, you got
Yeah.
to be like Santa. You got to check it twice.
Jesus.
Check
Um,
that ice.
how? Now we haven't talked about this. I'm not an expert. I'm smart.
Yep.
Um,
Sure you
how,
are.
where does sponsorship comes in here, right? So you're going to be doing this with the guidance of a sponsor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you
So
can't do this.
Yeah, you
The
can't do
whole
it on
program.
your own.
This is it's not an I program, it's a we program. And
Mm-hmm.
this,
I've heard
once
that.
you get, well, step 1, like all the way, it doesn't matter what step you're at. You having someone who has not considerable, like I sponsor Ryan, who's got 26 years. And it's just having
Wow.
a sounding board, and
Yeah.
someone can tell you, well, this is what I did.
Right.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you can't do this yourself.
I'd like to hear
It's
from Will. You hear this. Every AA has found that he can make little headway in this new adventure of living until he first backtracks and really makes an accurate and unsparing survey of the human record he has left in his wake. That's from the 12 and 12. Will, I know you've repaired a lot of relationships, and you've done it without the steps, and that's fine. But you're working a program of recovery. You live it, and you don't, you don't have to if you don't want to. What's it like living in your way, living this clean life where you have good relationships now? And what's that like?
I feel that like my making amends to people is like I said, it's like a action. So
Mm-hmm.
now, therefore, like doing things for my family and friends. Like I mean, they don't even if they ask, I'm there. Even if they don't ask, if I see something that needs to be done, I'll do it. Just showing up. I mean,
Yeah.
that means more than than anything else that can be done. I mean, it depends on the relationship. Depends on the severity of the relationship. I may take ownership of what I've done in the past. Now it's like like my mom. Say like, for example, my mother. It's kind of like a joking. Like I joke, like, because she ain't listening anyway. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, she knows that I know,
Yeah.
but I mean, like with my dad, I mean, like I've told, I've said that when my brother, I mean, like, and my brothers, it's basically my direct family, but
Yeah.
friends, any of the friends that I had from my past, they were friends, they were acquaintances, So, I mean, I'd really have to make amends to them, I don't think. I mean, possibly, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, hell, they could be still out there getting high, and I make amends, and they want to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
In my
and
opinion.
they won't even hear it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
exactly.
Will, what you said that just kind of blew my mind, and you sound smarter than
Fifth
uh,
grader.
than than Jim. What you kind of said that blew my mind is you show up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's kind of like you like steps or no steps. That's important. Like we never showed up. We were always for ourselves, and showing up for your family. I mean that's or friends or anybody. Says a great deal about you, and I really appreciate you sharing that. That was
And
great.
showing up, not like all strung out and like
Yeah,
acting all
exactly.
No.
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
So
Like I would
basically,
Exactly.
show up, but
a
I'd get
living
another.
amends.
Living
Yeah.
amends. Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
Kaisa. Yep. Exactly. And we
Well,
talked about this too.
Sorry,
Jim.
Will.
Well,
No, you're
Jim,
good.
why
You're
don't you,
good.
well,
Jim, tell me.
no. Well, look, Kaisa said a living amends, and there's and on your list like some that cannot be seen, like have
Hmm.
like the people you can't locate or those who have died. And I've done a step 8 and 9 with my dad, and he's been dead now
Right.
6 years.
Right.
And it's even though they're not there physically, well, I guess the ashes, whatever, but you are talking to their energy, their spirit, whatever you want to call it. And it's people say, oh, that's creepy. No, it's part of the process.
Right.
It's it,
Right.
it's a the whole thing is about you're changing your whole life.
Right. Right.
Like you don't have to change everything, but everything in this in recovery.
And I'm doing that too. So like, it's interesting. We all come at it from different angles. Garrett Mentuck, my boy, good dude
Hi,
right there.
Garrett.
He is succeeding, and I couldn't be prouder of him. And yeah, there's my girl Elizabeth McKee, and we're gonna collab in a little bit here. And she's right, living
Hey.
amends. She's a smart lady there. Um, Before we bring Isabella on, we're gonna look at the Stanley Cup playoffs. Why? Because it's my show, and I'll do whatever I want. So yeah, the Stanley Cup playoffs. If you're not watching, I don't know what
Don't you
you're doing.
have don't you have the Hockey Night in Canada theme?
No, this is in Canada.
Well, yeah,
It,
but where do you think all your players come from?
it's 3-1, and
Whatever.
I don't know who won the cup or the whatever it is. Anyway, just a real quick thing. Everybody's in the first round except for the New Jersey Devils. They have been eliminated by the Carolina Hurricanes, and that doesn't make me sad because I hate the Devils. They ruined my childhood. Um, and let's take a quick minute look before we bring in our best friend Isabella. All right, not that any of you care, but the first team to be eliminated is the New Jersey Devils. Let's look back at Game 3. And the Devils win in overtime to stay alive in the series. Had they not, it would have been 3-0 Carolina. The Devils were heavily not favored in this series. So let's move on to Game 5. Canes up 3-1, double OT again.
Goes to spare to the far side, back across, too hard for Jarvis. Goes to spare with it once again. To the far circle, stop! Wins it and sends the Hurricanes to the
Insanity down in Carolina. The Caniacs explode as they move on as Sebastian Aho scores. Double overtime, place is going up bananas. What a great series. Devils first to be eliminated. The Canadian or the Kings wait for the winner of the Washington. I'm not paying attention. The Washington Montreal series. Washington is up 3-1. Nail biters all around. It's playoff hockey, baby, and it's a blast off. Woo-hoo! There's something wrong with me. All right, so I'm sorry to everybody's recovery show, and I'm boring everybody. All right, so anyway, Isabella, I'm watching Kaisa backstage, and she's like, "What are we doing with our lives?"
Is she yawning?
Yeah, she's well, is it past 4 o'clock
I'm
in the
vaping.
afternoon? Well, I mean, this all gives everybody a chance to vape. I just vape on screen.
And eat.
Right. Anyway, so that's NHL playoffs. Nobody cares. We are talking about before my best friend Izzy comes on. We are talking about the eighth, not the Stanley Cup playoffs, the eighth step. It, you know, it's like if you don't do this right, you're not doing the steps right. And I loved what Kaisa said. They're in order for a reason. And I'm not here talking from super experience or having, being the guru. I'm talking outside looking in. And I go to AA every week, and, I try to get back there. And like the only requirement for membership is desire to stop using.
Mhm.
And, that's what I live off of. And I get a lot from the program. And it's a great thing, and I'm just a baby in it. So we have a very important person coming on. I don't know if you remember her. I don't think she made an impact on anybody, to be honest with you. So let's give her another chance to do so. Our best friend Isabella Jennings, and I'm not just gonna. I'm not. I'm not throwing you on full screen. We're just going to be cool about it.
That's fine. I'm not a very important person, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're up there.
You're very important.
There she is. Everybody's excited.
Here's Casey. His haircut.
Casey. I love how the green screen does not grab you.
There's him.
Nope.
And there's Will.
Wrong.
Get
Everything's backwards on camera.
I know.
Look at Jim's monograph shirt. How ridiculous could he be?
It's very cool swag. I still haven't gotten my shirt, by the way.
I sent it.
Jim, do you monogram your underwear also?
You betcha.
You can turn side to side and go, look, I'm Jim.
I have a tracking address. I have a tracking number. It's this, but it's tan. No. You deserved it, so it's on the way. But I use USPS, so it's probably still sitting in Atlanta or some shit. So, how have you been? We're excited to hear from you. I don't know.
I'm excited to be back on the show. You guys are like my new. You're my new group of friends. I'm at the cool kids table now. I know.
Oh, I don't know about being cool.
I don't know about
We
that.
try.
But we do try.
It's a subjective word, I think, but
That was an insult, and she fits right in.
It feels cool.
and any club that would have me in it, right?
Exactly. No, we'll take you.
We're honored.
Hi Frank. So let's just circle back to your story. Like impacted everybody. I thought about it for days. My parents watched the entire hour and a half, and that's good if they're watching it twice.
Hi, Tim's parents.
Hi, they're here. They're watching in the other room. Oh, we're so proud of Timmy. He lives with us at 42. So let's.
There are worse.
There is
worse
yeah.
alternatives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. And you reiterated that to me. So like, I'll go around the horn. I talk too much, guys. Talk to my girl Isabella and tell her what it how it affected you guys, because I know it did. Jim, go.
No.
Okay, Jim.
Why do I have to?
It's so inspirational. Like I said jokingly, like coming to Netflix seriously. But man, like he still standing and moving forward, and not just and no resentments, and just learning from the lessons, right? And not calling them mistakes, lessons, and moving forward and progressing at such a great rate. I'm so very proud of you. Very proud of you.
That's very kind. Thank you. And it was actually your Netflix comment that's inspired me. I started writing my book. It's been like
a girl.
Yeah, it's been a lifelong to do. I just didn't have a story to tell, and God delivered.
But you do.
You do now.
Yeah, I've written like 16 pages. So
wow,
we're moving.
You can reference the show because episode 100.
I might dedicate the book to the show.
Ooh. Oh my. I never. Kaisa, take the stage. And just so you know, co-host, just start talking. Don't wait for me.
Yeah, okay. All right, Tim, be quiet. So, Bella, yes, I loved your story so much. I didn't have children. I never got married because, I didn't want to. 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 I that just wasn't something I wanted to do. But hearing you be so honest and open about the things that happened, that the things that you did, and you had little ones involved and stuff, and just how you've come full circle, and you're a living amends to your babies,
Yeah.
and I, I just love that. I love to see that. And although that is not part of my story, that particular part of it, I absolutely love to see that. And it gives me hope,
Yeah.
and I just think that you're amazing, and keep telling your story and write your book.
Yeah.
I think that's
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. Well,
Incredible.
can I tell you? I feel like there is a level of shame. There's so much shame in addiction, right? But there's a level of shame that is only mothers understand it,
Okay.
because these children come from you, and you give life to them, you carry them around, and you nurture them, and you look at this precious little baby in your arms, and you think, I would never do anything to hurt you. You will always come first. And
Yeah.
there is not a woman I've ever met who would not die for her children willingly, immediately, whatever it took. But how hard it is to live for them sometimes,
Yeah.
and you never in your life, never ever in your life do you think, yeah, I'll do this. Like, this is the level we'll get at. This is the, I I sold birthday money for my kids' birthday cards. Like, who?
Hmm.
What?
We've all done similar stuff, though.
Something.
It's not the kind of thing that you ever think you're going to get yourself into, and it's not something that's not it's something that's not talked enough about, because it's so shameful. And obviously, I'm not condoning it, and like it's something that the hardest. I think the hardest amends, which I know we're talking about tonight, was kind of with myself, and giving myself the grace to say, like, I'm not letting myself off the hook, but
Yeah.
I can take myself off my own hook and put myself on God's hook. Like, he knows what I did.
Nice.
He'll take it from there. I don't have to punish myself for the rest of my life for this. I can receive the grace that has been offered to me. And if nothing else, I hope that that's the message that can be spread to another woman who is thinking that she's the worst person in the world and deserves to live a life of misery forever for the
Yeah.
things she's done.
Well, I
And
can, I can, what do we say? I
your
can,
openness and your honesty
yeah.
is wonderful. It really is. Really, I know that other women will see this, and it's going to give them hope, and then they too can, you know, go on their path, and make their life better for them.
Sure. And
Well,
and I didn't this was not something that like occurred to me one day that like this is something I want to talk about. But I was at a meeting really early in my sobriety, and there was it was a women's meeting, and it wasn't like a public forum kind of thing. It was at a halfway house. It was a small crowd, and it was a speaker who shared about trying heroin for the first time when she was 8 months pregnant or something like that. And she's sobbing as she's telling this story. And I'm looking around the room, and there's not a dry eye in the place. And very quickly after she finished, one woman shared and said something like, wow, I thought I was the only one. And the next woman said, wow, I thought I was the only one. And, and then we realized that everyone sitting in this room has done something, maybe not, the exact details, but something equally as horrific. And just the collective sigh of relief,
Yeah.
that I think everyone left that room 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
so I can identify with what you said. I've never shared this. I don't think I have, and it's shame I carried around for a long time, and not to make this the Tim show, but it's my show. Um, all joking aside, I was messed up, and I I left my daughter at like, I don't know, a year old in a hot car, and I went into a Walgreens to look for pills to replace Vicodin that I'd stolen from my own wife, and and that I came back to the car and I forgot I'd had her, and I'll never forget, I opened the back door, and she's alive, but she is sweating bullets, and Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever told that to anybody. And you saying what you just said reminded me of it, and I felt compelled to share it. And that's something I had shame for a long time. However, it didn't keep me from stopping. I kept going like a maniac. But when I got sober, I look back at that and I have such shame because what am I doing? I'm in a Walgreens finding dummy pills. I mean, I forgot she was in the car. It was like 100 degrees, and
Yeah.
I can't imagine how close she was to dying and how close I came to killing my own daughter.
Thanks for your vulnerability in that. I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about, you know?
Oh, there was countless times where I drove with my kids in the back seat, and like I would come flying up the driveway and like into a snowbank because it's always snow in Saskatchewan, and I would stumble, and they would kind of just come in when they opened the door themselves, and Dad was passed out in the living room, and of course, Mom was already there way ahead of me, and it was like I put their lives at jeopardy every time I was consuming alcohol and got behind the wheel, and it was so irresponsible. But like, I'm not going to use my addiction as an excuse. I'm like that's part of it. Like owning it's like making that amend and acknowledging it and owning that's what you did. And yeah, it's not. And this is not a competition. Well, really, Tim? Well, I left my grandma in the back seat. No, yeah, it's bad shit. But you know what? We're making amends. We know there's a better life out there, and we can't change the past. I always say you can't put the shit back in the dog. You just move forward, right? And you just say, okay, will I do that again? No, because I'm not going to actively go back to my addiction, whatever my drug of choice is. But yeah,
What I heard earlier is owning your shit, and that's what we don't do as addicts. It's everybody else's fault. And before Isabella came on, everything I heard was own it, own it, own it, own it. You know, and that's how you heal, obviously. And yeah, I just one thing to another. Thank you for letting me share that. I don't know how I feel. Probably better later. But yeah, so
Thanks for sharing, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. Bella, we
again.
want you to inappropriate, and we'll let it slide
Yeah, today.
because you're fun.
And
We're gonna.
he's cute.
He is cute. You should see him in person. I kind of
He's got
wanna.
that little thing right here.
Everybody talks
Yeah.
about my butt chin.
Oh, he's got
Butt
such a
chin.
little butt chin.
You can
I
put you
got
like
two
a
butt-
ring in there.
It's funny you don't have the thumbs up thing because that's not your resting place for your butt chin. Clearly,
I know it never works. Remember how we used to always do it all the time?
I can. Well, I used to be able to do
I
it.
never.
Now it's not here. Nothing's working.
If you do your thumbs up,
I know, but I can't. I used to be able to control it, and it's not here. So anyway,
they
we'll
never
just
did it with me.
thrilling radio.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you do like this or like
If
that,
something would happen.
yeah, but like
Is it the little bubble thumb that pops up?
yeah, but we had
it.
a co-host that he would just when he's done talking, he would just do this. And bubble thumb would come up, and it went on for 9 months. Well, I exaggerate. Probably 5-6 months. And I'm just like, is that something I should know about, or is that other people like give me a thumbs up? I had no idea. And then I realized it's his stupid resting place. And we tried. Who's buzzing, Kaisa?
Nope.
Not,
Not me.
It's not me.
Just kidding. I like to make fun.
I put all those things on mute so they wouldn't keep popping up.
That's a good
Duly
girl.
noted for people who might not know.
I just want to set off the fireworks. The fireworks are cool, and I had full control over my own things. But anyway, we would like you to call out the clean time. It's easy.
Yay!
Just whatever your name is.
Nice.
How many days? It's pretty simple.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna do that now, and I'm sure you've seen it. You're gonna do great. And Jim, just dial it down a notch or 10. You know what I mean?
I'll let Bella take the show.
Well,
I won't make any. All at the end, I'll just scream out my email. That's it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah.
Say way to go here and there. That's all. Just be normal. Just be a normal.
Tip it all
human-
that jazz.
Be a normal human
jolly
being.
good. Jolly good.
Fucking Canadians. Okay. It's that time. It is clean time. What is clean time, you ask? Well, glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Clean time is the amount of days or years that you've been clean and sober. We're a family here on T-Dubs, so let's get into our clean time segment. Bella?
Here we go. Christine A. 31 days.
Atta girl.
Francis D, 35 days.
Francis?
Jolly good.
Daisy M, 39 days.
Daisy.
Hooray.
Ricky
Jim?
D, 45 days. Anthony S, 58 days.
2 more.
Good job.
Michelle D, 61 days. Congrats, Michelle.
Go, Michelle.
Sierra
job.
P, 63 days.
Ooh, Sierra.
Oh,
Yay.
Carol P, 66 days.
Go, Carol.
Carol.
Alex M, 69 days. Nice.
Go, Alex. Go, Alex.
Miss
job.
D, 79 days.
Boy,
Go, Mitch.
Ella S, 80 days.
80 days around the world.
Matthew D,
It
90
is.
days. Congrats,
90.
Matthew.
Yay.
Rhonda S, 113 days. Also 113, Corbin J. Anonymous, 115 days.
Boy.
Mark B, 117.
Good job.
Misty H, 129 days.
One that's
Deborah H, 137. Daisy McLean, 148. Jeanette R, 149 days.
Good job.
James C, 162.
Boy,
Dustin
James.
W, 167.
Dustin.
Karen D, 183 days.
6 months.
Timothy F, 186 days.
6 months.
Jason D, 202 days.
Yay.
Hey, Shiati. Sorry.
TW, 212 days.
We do some stuff.
Haley M, 218 days.
Girl, Haley.
Skylar S, 231 days.
Good job.
Yes, Skylar.
David M, 225 days.
Go, David.
Going back.
Valencia K, 226 days.
Go, Valencia.
There you go, girl.
Vanessa M, 249 days.
April. Sorry.
Okay.
Days. Alex B, 261 days.
Should have warned you.
Destiny J, 270 days. Daniel G, 273 days.
9 months.
Good job. Yippee.
Michaela B, 285 days. David
Go,
D,
go, go.
299
One
days.
more.
There we go.
AJH, 302 days.
Crikey.
TW, Crikey at 325.
Crikey.
34 for Coach J. Maria, I'm so glad that you got to 341 days.
Yay.
348 days.
She's good.
Jared B, 349 days. Mandy J, 404.
It's going to get crazy here.
JD
Oh, yep.
M,
Hey,
410
hold on to your seats, kids.
Dyson?
This song. Yeah, whatever.
And 415, 430.
Here it is. Sorry. Hop, blah, 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 blah. Sorry.
Okay, calm down.
KDM, 483 days. OBJ, 535.
Kobe Jack Cheese. Look at him.
Willie D, 540 days.
Our very own. Our very own.
There's our Ronnie.
Ronnie doesn't
Ronnie
play, he's
Day,
got
they
550 days.
There she is.
Bella J.
I don't know if they're accurate, but look at this.
Sign of the beast.
Sorry.
We'll visit that tomorrow. Jim L, 3 years.
Wow.
Amelia Q, 3 years. Jeffrey F, 3 years. Clean and
Boy,
serene.
Look at this. April P. 4.
OP, 4
Yay.
years.
Another April.
La, 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 la.
And he's got 4 years. Ella M, 4 years.
Stella.
Our boy.
Oh, what's 4 years?
Billy Bigfoot.
Manny Big.
Manny, 5 years. Right there.
Oh.
Oh, there's Isabella.
I blew,
her.
I blew your anonymity.
There you go.
Simon C, 6 years. Nikki D, 8 years. Neil K, 13 years. Ryan
There he is.
26 years.
Who's the most important part of the room?
That newcomer.
That's Robert S. 20 days.
Boy, Rob.
Good job, buddy.
T, 22 days.
Right on, buddy. Keep coming back.
Lori E, 25 days.
I love it. Way to go, all our clean
Good
timers.
job, clean
And
timers.
way
Great
to go,
job.
Bella.
Don't forget to email me, Jim
job, Bella.
at
Do I just do
trash-archives.com.
it
Hit us up on the socials. Go rub-a-dub-dub. Go on the TikTok, the
3
YouTube.
minutes.
Send me an email. Send me a picture. Become
Ew.
the fun and frivolity of Alinta.
Wow, Bella did good. Better than,
Oh.
not Kaisa, but better than other people.
Sorry, Tyler.
No, you,
No.
There's nothing to be sorry for. We're a team here.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
an
You
argument
did,
here.
you did a great job. That was incredible. Wow, we got a fun. We should have prepped you, but this whole thing was like a, like a
It's a little
impromptu.
bit spontaneous.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of weird stuff like that doesn't make any sense, and so there's certain things I should have prepped you about, but I did not. So anyway, you still did a great job.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, Isabel, what an awesome, awesome cameo. We still got 5 mins. I still want to talk about this topic we're talking about. We got a few more things here. Step 8 of Alcoholics Anonymous is the beginning of the process of making amends, forgiving others, and possibly being forgiven by them, in addition to forgiving ourselves by making a list of the people we harmed and became willing to make amends. This action is moving towards healing the past with others and learning how to live in the world with our head held high. So, like, we've covered all this. Nora says, "Great job, Isabella Jennings. You're not about." All right, anyway, so we covered all this through the whole show. Healing ourselves, taking accountability. What do we do? I'm going to ask Kaisa, what do we do when someone doesn't want our amends?
Well, you don't. Then if they, start telling you something that they think you should have done, just stop. Don't do it. And wait. Now, if the chance arises later, you will know when the perfect opportunity to make amends to that person is.
Right.
Then if it never happens, some people write letters and then burn the letters.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
You could put a letter inside a helium balloon and let it go if you want.
That sounds fun.
I mean, there's things you can do, but if somebody doesn't want an amends, and I've had people tell me, nope, you're fine, you're good. And I'm like, well, can I even say what I need to say? And they're like, nope, we don't want to hear it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I just, I'll just take another step and keep moving forward.
I'm at a place where people don't want to hear my amends, and I know that. Bella, it's shifting gears. You were a hot mess. What was it like? Yeah, I know, I'm an idiot. What was it like for you healing the past? How did you do it? Or I'm sure you're still doing it. Where are you at with that?
So to an extent, it's an everyday thing, right? I mean, it's not repeating our past mistakes. It's moving forward. It's continuing to do the right thing every day. It's being that living amends. But I've done a couple step 8s and step 9s, and I've talked about it a whole lot. And it's only the sponsor I actually made it through all the steps with the very first time, who told me about the importance of the approach before the amends, right? Mm-hmm. Because like Kaisa just said, some of these people don't want to hear us, and I have had that experience too. And when we come out of the blue, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but for me, I thought once I got sober, like, where's my ticker tape parade? Like, right? Yep. What do you mean you're still upset about that thing? Don't you understand I'm sober now?
All right. I'm 5 minutes sober. Why are you hiding your pocketbook?
I'm a whole new me. Yep. And so, it was a really, really humbling experience to recognize that just because I was moving forward doesn't mean that anyone else was moving forward. I'm working a program doesn't mean that they are.
Right.
I'm, letting go of things doesn't mean that they are. And that's okay. And like you said, Kaisa, that we can't force that. So, reaching out to make sure, hey, listen, I've got some stuff to say. Are you willing to hear it? when's the time that we can set up to talk about this? And then really just being receptive to how they want to proceed with it. And, asking at the very end of the amends, understanding, and I think I heard this earlier, an amends is not an apology. If I kick your fence until it breaks and then I stand there and I say, I'm sorry to your fence, it's not going to fix it. My job is not to tell your fence I'm sorry, to tell you I'm sorry I've been kicking your fence, but to fix the fence and to quit kicking it, So
nice.
Well said. Well said.
Nice.
I'm going to use that.
Good. I didn't make it up.
That's all right.
It's all right. You passed it on.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. We can't keep what we have unless we give it away, right?
Absolutely.
That is a fact. So I just want you to know that, you are...
Game on.
Oh, yeah.
You're a rock star.
Yeah. I'm watching everybody backstage. Everybody's laughing or dancing. You are an all-star as far as we're concerned, and you're not going to be able to put your head through the door with us. But we really do love you. We
Yes.
You're
I
a
love
huge
you guys
inspiration.
too.
You're exactly why
an inspiration.
You
Yes.
are a miracle.
A miracle.
Hey, you were going to do that.
Oh, this is welcome to the miracle.
One more. One more.
My laundry's done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're exactly why we do this show, and you're exactly what we want to present with this show. So just a couple of things I have to address before we go. Dear Nintendo Corporation of America, we break several thousand copyright laws of the show. We apologize in advance and assure you it's for a good cause. Please do not sue us. Sincerely, Talkin Trash. More specifically,
Really?
Jim Libel. If they have to sue somebody, it should be you. Anyway,
Talk to my lawyers.
Super big 8-bit Mario is unstoppable. He's eating mushrooms and stuff, but we're off track. Get it? Off track, Mario Kart. Okay.
No.
Talk about throwing together a show with a broken nose in the last 5 seconds. So we are Isabella. She's great. She's our friend. We read some Just for to Dizzle My Nizzle. And our best friend in the world, Will Douglas, reads that. So, Will, if you could get up in there.
Just for today, ongoing recovery is dependent on our relationships with the loving God who cares for us and will do for us what we find impossible to do for ourselves. God does for us. How often have we heard it said in meetings that God does for us what we cannot do for ourselves? At times we may get stuck in our recovery, unable, afraid, or unwilling to make the decisions we know we must make to move forward. Perhaps we are unable to end a relationship that just isn't working. Maybe our job has become a source of too much conflict, or perhaps we feel we need to find a new sponsor, but are afraid to begin the search. Through the grace of our higher power, unexpected change may occur in precisely the area we felt unable. To alter, we sometimes allow ourselves to become stuck in the problem instead of the moving forward toward the solution. At these times, we often find that our higher power does for us what we cannot do for ourselves. Perhaps our partner decides to end our relationship. We may get fired or laid off.
Either one.
Or our sponsor. Our sponsor tells us that he or she can no longer work with us, forcing us to look for a new one. Sometimes what occurs in our lives can be frightening, as change often seems, but also hear that God never closed the door without opening another one. As we move forward with faith, the strength of our higher power is never far from us. Our recovery is strengthened by these changes. Just for today, I trust that God of my understanding will do for me what I cannot do for myself.
Facts on facts. And what I heard in there was... I forgot. So anyway... Isabella, thank you for joining us. We're going to have to put you on payroll because I think our viewership goes way up. All right, everybody.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thank Isabella. Be nice about it. Thank her. Thank you, Isabella, so much.
Thank you, Isabella.